There is a fortress inside you, a place untouched by insult, provocation, or chaos. Most people never find it. They live as slaves to their impulses, reacting, flaring up, falling into rage, then regretting it later. But we who seek mastery over ourselves, we do not flinch at insults. We do not burn with hatred. We stand unmoved as the world throws its worst at us. How? Because we understand what the Stoics understood centuries ago. We realize that anger is not something others impose upon us. It is a choice that weak men make, a choice that binds them to suffering. Seneca warned us, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. Anger demands immediacy. It begs us to react before reason can intervene. But the wise do not answer its call. Instead, we pause. We breathe. We ask ourselves, does this insult harm me? Or does my reaction give it power? No man can anger you unless you allow it. No event can disturb you unless you decide it matters. It is not the insult, the betrayal, or the injustice that wounds. It is your interpretation of it. Epictetus taught us, it is not events that disturb us, but our opinions about them. A man calls you a fool. So what? Does his word alter your mind? Does it steal your wisdom? If not, then what has been taken from you? Nothing. You must understand this deeply. Everything outside your mind is beyond your control. The weather, the opinions of others, the failures of the weak. None of it belongs to you, and so none of it should ever disturb you. Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire and still refused to be ruled by his emotions, reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If you find value in the Stoic wisdom we share, show your support by liking, subscribing, and watching till the end. The nature of insults and provocations. Imagine a man who insults you. His words carry poison, yet that poison only takes effect if you drink it. Most men drink deeply. They fume, they argue, they let the venom spread like wildfire within them. They replay the insult in their minds, allowing it to echo, growing stronger with each repetition. They let it disturb their sleep, ruin their meals, steal their peace. But the wise man does not drink. He does not let the poison seep into his bloodstream. Instead, he looks at the insult, sees it for what it is, mere noise, empty wind passing through the air, and moves on, unaffected. To be offended is a choice. It is not the insult that wounds, but our decision to take it personally. If a child calls you weak, do you take offense? Of course not. You understand that a child speaks without wisdom, without knowledge of what they say. The words mean nothing. Why then do you allow the words of an ignorant man to disturb your peace? An insult does not define you. Only your reaction to it does. The moment you see insults as reflections of the speaker, not yourself, you are free. Consider the source. If a man is drowning in his own weakness, why should his words hold any weight? Would you expect wisdom from a fool? Would you expect honesty from a liar? Would you expect composure from the easily provoked? No. Then why would you allow them to shake you? A barking dog does not deserve your anger. It deserves your indifference. Seneca puts it simply, a noble spirit is free from malice. It does not seek revenge for wrongs, for it is above them. A truly powerful man does not need to strike back. He does not need to lower himself to the level of the petty and the bitter. His very indifference is proof enough. The more a man remains unshaken by words, the more formidable he becomes. Anger is weakness in disguise. Many believe that rage is a show of power. They think that striking back proves dominance. This is a lie. Anger is not strength. It is submission. Submission to emotion. Submission to impulse. It is the clearest evidence that a man does not yet command himself. To let another man control your mood is to hand him power over you. To let a slight, an insult, or a challenge provoke you is to be ruled by forces outside yourself. What kind of master allows his slave to dictate his actions? What kind of king allows the jesters to pull his strings? True power lies in restraint. The greatest warriors do not rush into battle in a fit of rage. They strike with precision only when necessary. The strongest minds do not flare up like wildfires. They remain steady, unshaken. When a man is in control of himself, no one else can control him. But when he surrenders to anger, he becomes a puppet, dancing on the strings of his enemies. Marcus Aurelius had absolute power, yet he trained himself to remain calm, even when faced with betrayal, incompetence, and treachery. He understood that his rage would not change the actions of others. It would only cloud his own judgment. He wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. If a man acts with cruelty, respond with reason. If he acts with foolishness, respond with wisdom. In doing so, you rob him of control over you. The one who angers you owns you, but the one who remains unmoved owns himself." And that is true dominance, building the impenetrable mind. You must become like a rock in a storm. The waves crash against you, but you do not move. The winds howl, but you stand firm. How do you train yourself to this level of mastery? 1. Practice indifference. Every day, seek small insults. Let someone cut in front of you. Let someone mock you. Then observe yourself. Feel the initial flicker of irritation. Then let it pass. Realize that it is nothing. This is the training of the mind. Over time, you will see these moments as opportunities rather than disturbances. They are not obstacles to your peace. They are the weight that strengthens it. 2. Delay your response. The next time anger rises, do not react. Pause. Count to 10. Then walk away. Let time dilute the fire, and you will see how little it truly matters. If you can control the first impulse to react, you have already won the battle. The longer you wait, the weaker the emotion becomes, until eventually it vanishes entirely. 3. Examine the event. When disturbed, ask, does this affect my character? Does it change who I am? If not, discard it. It is irrelevant to your true self. Remind yourself that external events have no power over your integrity, your discipline, or your path. Only you decide what deserves your energy. 4. Visualize the Stoic response. Before entering difficult situations, imagine yourself as unshakable. See yourself encountering rudeness and remaining calm. Train your mind before the moment arrives. The mind, like a warrior, performs best in battle when it has practiced beforehand. The road to an impenetrable mind is not easy, but it is the path to true freedom. No longer will you be a slave to reaction. No longer will you be moved by the trivial. You will stand, resolute, while the world rages around you. Unshaken, unbreakable. The final lesson: master yourself, master the world. You cannot control others. You cannot stop people from being cruel, from being foolish, from being selfish. But you can control yourself. And that is all that matters. The weak man reacts. The strong man remains composed. The fool fights battles that do not exist. The wise man walks away, untouched. We must choose. Will we be the slave to our emotions, lashing out at every slight? Or will we be the master, standing firm, untouchable? If you wish to be truly powerful, to be truly free, then let nothing move you. Let no man provoke you. Let no event shake your inner fortress. Become the man the world cannot break.